afternoon, students. Welcome to Literature Learning. Let's continue with the second part of the explanation from page 59 onwards, where we had left, where the narrator tells the girl in the compartment that ants are formidable creatures. So let's begin from the next line. Where are you going? She asked. To Dehra and then to Mussoorie. So the girl who got into the compartment from Rohana asked the narrator his destination as to where he was going. So the narrator replied that he was going to Dehra and then to Mussoorie. The next line. Oh, how lucky you are! I wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the hills, especially in October. The girl exclaimed. She puts in a rhetorical question emphasizing on you. She meant to say that the narrator was a lucky person to be able to travel up to Mussoorie. Then she added that she wished that she could have been traveling to Mussoorie as well, as she loved the hills, especially during the October season. Now, after the formation of the state of Uttarakhand on 9th November 2000, Dehradun in Chamoli district was made the temporary capital of the state. It is now the winter capital and the administrative headquarters of the state. The state carved out of Uttar Pradesh will now have two capitals, retaining Dehradun as the winter capital, and Gairsain will now be Uttarakhand's new summer capital. So what's the new name? Gairsain, Gairsain is the new summer capital. So, and then the man says here, Mussoorie in October can be a great idea because of the splendid climate, the good climate, she says, and that can be experienced during this time. Snowfall can be witnessed in October. Late October, snowfall begins. That indeed is an amazing sight. Now the narrator continues, yes, this is the best time, I said, calling on my memories. That is, recalling his memories. The hills are covered with wild dahlias. The sun is delicious, and at night you can sit in front of a log fire and drink coffee. Most of the tourists have gone, and the roads are quiet and almost deserted. Yes, October is the best time. Now, calling on my memories, that is, the narrator recalls his memories of the beauty of the hills of Mussoorie. He said the hills were covered with wild dahlias. The valleys looked vibrant with these beautiful flowers of various colors. The sun is delicious as it is soothing over the skin. It doesn't prick. It is soothing. And during the season when it starts getting chilly, and one can enjoy drinking coffee with a campfire burning in front. So that is what he says, log fire in front, burning in front. The roads are quieter and deserted as the tourists also have left for their homelands. And this is what is happening in October, which is the best time for anybody to visit Mussoorie. The narrator confirms the girl's statement by saying all these. She was silent. I wondered if my words had touched her or whether she thought I was a romantic fool. Then I made a mistake. What is it like outside? I asked. Now the girl was quiet for some time. The narrator wondered, was it because she was thinking about him to be a romantic fool? So, was it because she thought he was a romantic fool? A romantic fool could be a person who idolized on old-fashioned views of the beauty of those places. He was talking like that, no? And what he told the girl, or was it because she was lost in thoughts of her own? So he wondered. The narrator then made a mistake. What was the mistake? He asked a question. What is it like outside? I asked. So the narrator, who had been pretending to be normal without any disability, was trying his best to cover up his blindness. But by mistake, he questioned the girl. How does it look like outside? And the narrator says, she seemed to find nothing strange in the question. Had she noticed already that I could not see? But her next question removed my doubts. The narrator felt that she didn't discover the truth of the narrator, for she did not find anything rare or strange in his question. But he wondered, had she already noticed his blindness? But when she spoke again, his doubts were clear. The girl said, "Why don't you look out of the window?" she asked. "Why don't you find out for yourself?" she meant to say. The narrator says, I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. The window was open and I faced it, making a pretense of studying the landscape. I heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and in my mind's eye I could see the telegraph posts flashing by. So he moved himself from the middle part of the compartment seat, that is the berth. From the berth, he went towards the ledge of the window, that is the border, or you can say the shelf of the window. The window was open and he pretended to study what is going on outside, or very tactfully he looked towards it as if he was trying to see the sceneries passing by, making a pretense, acting as if he was seeing, he could see everything happening outside the window. Very nicely he narrates to us the panting, that is the puffing of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and the roar, the sound of the wheels. And he also adds that in his mind's eye he could see the telegraph post flashing by. That is, this sentence now tells us that the narrator was not blind from childhood, but may have become blind later on, because he knows about the telegraph post flashing by. Only a person who could have seen all that could say in such a vivid way. Then he said to the girl, "Have you noticed," I ventured, "that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still?" The narrator seems to be clever in covering up his disability. So the blind narrator was trying to pretend to be normal sighted. This is what a normal person would see from a train's compartment, that everything outside seemed to be moving at great speed, while we inside the compartment seem to be sitting still, unmoving. Now, I have a question for you children. Why does everything seem to move so fast when we see out of a moving train? While sitting in a moving train, why do we see things moving so rapidly? So, I know you would be now, some of you must be ready to answer. But while sitting in a moving train, things appear to be rapidly moving in the opposite direction, isn't it? Because the line of sight changes very rapidly. On the other hand, distant or far off objects such as far off trees, stars in the sky appear stationary. They look as if they are not moving at all, or at a very slow speed because of the large distance. But nearby posts and all seem to be flying past, as the narrator has already said. So as a result, the line of sight does not change its direction rapidly. Then let us go to the next page, because I want to continue till that conversation, that particular conversation, and end it off with that. So that always happens, the woman said. The girl said, this always happens. Do you see any animals? And then she continued to ask, do you see any animals outside? No, I answered quite confidently. Who is that? I, the narrator. He says very confidently. Why is he confident? Because I knew that there were hardly any animals left in the forest near Dehra. So he said no with full confidence. Why? Because he was confident that there weren't any animals left in the forest near Dehradun. Now this again leaves us with a thought. How do these animals disappear from the forest? Who's responsible? So we are missing out all the fun of having to see or able to see these animals in its natural environment. Well, children, with this we end today's lesson. So the next part in the next video. Till then, stay home and stay safe. Thank you.